Here we're given a problem where we have an equation that represents the height of a rocket after it's been in the air t seconds. So t represents time, how long it's been in the air, and h represents the height of the rocket. Well, in this instance, they want to know at what time is the height 0? Or when will it hit the ground? Well, when it hits the ground, the height is 0. So let's rewrite this equation, except instead of using h, we're going to replace the h with 0, because that's what we're trying to find, is at what time does the height hit the ground? Is it 0? Is the height 0, or when the rocket hits the ground? So what you're going to find when you're solving these kinds of equations is that there are these little tricks that you can do to kind of make the problem simpler to solve. For me, one of those tricks is I don't like decimal numbers, so I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by 10, and that's going to move the decimal over 10 places. So if I multiply the left side of the equation by 10, well, 0 times 10 is 0, and then I'm just going to go through and I'm going to multiply everything by 10, or I'm going to be moving that decimal one place to the right. Now, this is for, as you do math, you start developing a number sense, and this is where knowing your multiplication tables comes in handy. Can I simplify this equation even more? Well, I'm looking at 49, 385, and 56, and I'm thinking that, well, I know that 7 goes into 49, and I know that 56 goes in, or that 7 goes into 56. Does 7 go into 385? And if you do the math, you'll find that it does. So I can make this equation even simpler by dividing both sides of the equation by 7. And actually, I'm going to divide both sides by -7 so that the first term is a positive term. It's just easier for me to factor. So I divide the left side by 7. Well, 0 divided by -7 is 0. And then I'm just going to go through. -49 divided by -7 is 7. Positive 385 divided by -7 is -55, and then positive 56 divided by -7 is -8. So see how I was able to do that? I first got rid of my decimals. I got the number smaller by dividing everything by a common factor. In this case it was -7. And now I'm going to go through and I'm going to factor this by hand. 7t times t, that's going to give me my 7t squared. Now, what two numbers, if I multiply them together, will give me 8, and the outside terms and the inside terms will add together to give me -55? Well, that would be 1 and 8, putting a minus in front of the 8 and a plus in front of the 1. If those are the solutions, if those are the factors, then the solutions would be t is equal to -1/7. And it can't be that. You can't have a negative time. This rocket can't go back in time. So we know that -1/7 is in the solution. And then the other solution would be t is equal to 8. So your final answer would be 8 seconds.